Welcome to Know You Matter. This is real conversations for people who want to feel a little bit better without being given a to-do list.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the restoration coach and I'm Lauren's mum.
And I'm Lauren. I'm the restoration strategist.
And we are ever so glad that you're here.
Hello. Hello. And welcome, I think, to the 16. No, it's not the Christmas one yet.
We're not at the Christmas one.
No. No, I think this will go out the 16th of December.
Oh, it's nearly here.
It's
We'll
Christmas
be halfway. I know, do we have to, does that mean that next time we have to record, we have to come in something Christmassy and maybe we have to sing? I know we wouldn't put anybody through that, would we?
I sing all the time anyway. Sorry. Yes, and also we'll need to bring what are they called? The blowy things for New Year.
I can't remember now you said that. They've got a name, haven't they? But yeah, streamers. No, that's not it.
I've got my name as kazoos, but that's not what I mean.
No, it isn't, is it? Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah. You had a thought on today's conversation, didn't you?
I did. Because it is officially pretty much the end of the year. I think this is officially, mid-December is officially when people start going, oh, it's almost 2026. Oh, in fact, this is when people start saying it, isn't it? Because if you finish work and you've got a couple of weeks off, you know, that used to be the thing where they'd be like, see you next year. It's like dad joke of the century, isn't it?
How can you tell how somebody feels about something?
See you next year. Yes, so I thought it would be quite nice actually, because I think one of the things, our biggest failure as a mum and daughter duo is that we don't celebrate things enough. But I also think we know that we don't celebrate things enough. We don't sit and go, we need to pop more corks. So I just thought it'd be really nice to ask you actually what you're proud of this year.
I did finish it on the last one. I did finish the last podcast we were recording by talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
I know that I have said to people a number of times over the last 3.5 years that I'd love to do a podcast. I had no clue how this was going to happen in the slightest. And I think even all the conversations we'd had, we kind of couldn't see how it was going to come about. We knew it. So one of the things I'm most proud of is we've done this and that we took the leap early this year and just thought, let's just do it. And that we've made it once a week. Yeah, exactly.
We've never dropped or stopped.
Or I think that was
even
the thing.
through when it's been difficult, even having to record at home.
Yeah.
With our little backgrounds on.
Yeah, so we know we can do that now.
Yes, which is really.
But I do think this, and I'm most proud of having something to talk about. Even though each week, even though a lot of the time I go, "What have you thought of that we need to speak about?" Because I definitely feel like sometimes I come racing into these after having done other stuff, and I'm not quite in the place yet where I can kind of put to one side what I've been doing enough that I can think about what in that do I want to talk about. Yeah. So I know often you're brilliant at this. So I'm proud of you because you just literally go, I've been thinking about this.
This and this.
And I go, cracking, let's go.
Yeah.
Or occasionally, because actually if we're going to talk about the podcast, I'm proud of the fact that there are moments where I'm like, no, that's not a topic that I would like to talk about at this moment or whatever. So kind of finding my voice in all of that as well.
Yeah.
So that's one thing for me. What about for you?
So my brain's immediately gone a different way because are we doing business or personal or?
We can do any.
Because the first thing I thought of was the fact that we potty trained.
Yeah.
So me and my husband wrote it down on our goals for this year. We were like, by the end of the year, we'd like to have potty trained because he starts school next year. And that's the one thing that we were like, you know, we've really followed his lead on it. And we'd like to focus this year on being the year that it happens officially. And he's out of, in the pants. And
he's doing a grand job.
Brilliant.
He is.
He's brilliant. And I feel really proud of us because it wasn't easy. And I would like to say to anyone, if you're struggling with potty training, you'll be fine.
You will get there.
Like I promise you, it'll just you'll get there and just do what you need to do.
Amazing.
But yeah.
Excellent. Were there any? What are the goals on there? Was there anything else that you've achieved and you're proud of this year?
Gosh, I think there's so much, isn't there? Like, I'm super proud of us for doing this. I think it's amazing that we've managed to do this podcast. Like, I think it's one of those things that we kept thinking about, and in my head, I had like all of these things that we needed to have in place before this happened, and actually, we just needed to do it.
You're making me think of the Start Before You're Ready
Yeah.
thing that you keep reading, and I think it's true that you think everything has to be perfect and it all has to be in line, doesn't it? And this bit and this bit, and actually we kind of just came in and started to have a conversation. And then I would like to say thank you to everybody that's commented or sent us messages, because we love that. And just listened. You know, and I think just even knowing that some people just loved it, and religiously, people who tell me that they listen to in the car on their journey to work, or you know, they have a particular place that they listen. I love that. I do love that.
Yeah, it always baffles me, to be honest.
What, that people listen?
Yeah, but also that, like, I hope it's doing what we made it for.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. I hope the people listen and go, oh yeah, I am normal. Like, that's the.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. They said that, therefore it's right, okay. Yeah, I love that. I actually wrote. I was writing a blog about the, being ready thing, because I think it's really interesting that, because I was writing about the fact that everyone's like, you don't need to be ready. You don't need to be ready, and I 100% agree with it. And I do think you need to be ready to fail. Like, I think that's it. I think you don't need to be ready in the way that we think we need to be ready. We don't need to be ready with all of the answers, all of the contingency plans, all of that kind of thing. We don't need to do that, but we do need to be ready to fail. Because it's like, how many things do we not do because we think we're not going to be able to do them? I'm really proud of myself for that, actually, this year. It feels like it's changed. Like, I'll just try it. I'm just going to give it a go.
I'm proud of us for not giving up, because I think that's the bit, isn't it? It on the outside, somebody just recently was like, "Oh my word, you're smashing it," and I think the reality is there are some tough times, and that I saw this reel that was on a post. No, in fact, it was a carousel. And the first picture, let me just get it right. The first picture was talking about entrepreneurs. I think I sent it to you actually to take a look at, because it was that whole thing about.
Was it brown? With white writing.
That was some of them, but there's another one with an image, and it's this whole bit about how, like, when you start a business and you're creating something and how it goes, and then it literally drops at a certain point, like your confidence, and you hit this like valley of disillusionment and all of this kind of stuff. And I think knowing what that actually we've dealt with times that I've been like, oh my God, like, how are we going to get through this bit, or what do we need to do now, and maybe because things haven't always gone to plan. And we found that there've been times that you've been a bit disillusioned, or I've been a bit disillusioned. And then it was almost like that. It was great when we weren't together, but actually we've both felt quite down at times together, where we've had these moments and been like, wow, this is hard. You've got to keep on going, haven't you? You've got to kind of, it's the whole bit about getting known for your reputation, finding clients, all of that kind of stuff, everything that goes with that, because I think, it's not always easy. And now having the knowledge and the reserves and the, we don't believe our own brain sometimes. It's that bit about kind of looking at it and going, oh, that's how you feel. Okay, right. What do we need to do about that? So I think that's something I'm really proud of. Because, those moments where you doubt yourself, like you do, I do, but we're not letting them define us anymore. That's what I feel proud of this year. And to have got to a place where we are right now, where we know that more is possible, and what potentially is coming, and where do we want to go with things, and that actually, because I think this is a big thing, and I haven't spoken to a huge amount of business owners, but I think you evolve, because it is in the beginning, and I think because we don't sell a particular product type, we don't make something and give it, but I think kind of understanding what you love about what you do and really finding it. And I think I'm proud of you this year, because I think you've really found what you love.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. And I shared a thread about it today, actually, because I was talking about the fact that, like, logistically for us both, I've like physically made so many things over the past few years, like put like from your side you have the idea, and then like I put them together, like the courses, workbooks, digital products, social media posts, like all of this kind of stuff. And the realization for me that so much of it lives, I called it the Google Drive graveyard. Because just realizing the amount of things I built because I thought I should, or because I thought that's what was going to work, and not because it's what was right for the world we're building, or the people we're serving. Do you know what I mean? And that, like, I'm really proud of coming to this place where I feel really proud of it, actually, because, you know, my side of this has been open for just over a year. I didn't realise it had been just over a year. Didn't celebrate that at all. But, like, you know, and I've gone through all of these iterations of working out what I want to do with people, and trying to work out what that looks like based on what I've done with you and just what I've learned and seen happen. That grosses me out from a lot of people, and the way that they market, and the way that shame is just built into a lot of the things that happen. And it's like I finally sort of come out of this other end like, oh, this is it. Do you know what I mean? And that feels really good. And I'm really excited for next year. Like I don't feel done at all for this year. Like I don't plan on shutting up shop and getting quiet or anything. But it feels like next year is when the new things start to happen. Like I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that there's been, that, and I a part of me's going, how did we miss your year?
I know. I just didn't even consider it. I think it was back in October.
I think this is a funny one, isn't it? Because I often, and even just thinking about us talking about being proud of ourselves, you know, because it's definitely, there's been the highs and lows through the year for sure. And kind of recognising all the things that we've experienced as a business, and also personally with stuff. And I was just going to say, one of the things that I've done is I tend to, a lot of the time I look at my phone, at my photos. I am ridiculously, I was about to say useless. I'm not useless. But I do not post half of what I take photographs of to share. And I take photographs with the intent that I'm going to share them, and then I just, a lot of the time, forget. And I don't. But that does make, I've got quite a lot of photographs. I won't say the exact amount, but I know some people would understand that it's in the thousands. I do have a little technique of going back and looking at my photographs for the year. I get to this point and I sit and review them, because it reminds me of some of the things as well that I probably did.
Yeah.
Or some of the times we've gone away and done the work, you know. So I'm so proud of myself for, you know, the saying yes to things that you know, I'd not done before, as in, you know, with different companies, and, you know, creating stuff and running training and all of that. And I have loved it, you know, met so many amazing new people, you know, and had such incredible opportunities this year. And I'm really proud of that part of me that was like, no, we're going to go for this. We're going to try, let's see how it goes. And what can we do? And that does mean that I'm really excited for next year as well, because I can see the direction that I want to take things in, and you know, really have more of a leadership focus, because that's where my heart lies, in, you know, the environments that people work, and not only how that individuals work, but how the system works. So yeah, I feel really proud of that. And yeah, listening to what matters to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're both saying, isn't it? In terms of, you know, I think often it's a bit like, we've spoke about it in previous reels, when we were talking about Christmas, where we were saying, you know, it's almost like there's a way that things should be done and how they should happen. And I think a part of us is we're little rebels.
We've shook all a lot of that
we're a bit rule breakery. I follow rules when I see that they matter. And I think what I'm learning as I get older is actually there's certain rules that I'm like, I don't get that, and it's been made up by somebody, and
if
I
it's
don't
a
see
rule
it that
for
way.
safety, then you should not break it, because it'll stress me out. And my husband will laugh at me for that, because he knows that rule breaking is not something I'm comfortable with. If it's a rule set by society, specifically by men, for this fucking stupid 9 to 5, 5 day a week crap that got peddled as the perfect amount of whatever, then no, thank you.
Do you know what it is? You've just said something there, and what really struck me. So I'm gonna
Ford.
name a guy who I absolutely loved being on his course. John, he was called, and he was one of my tutors when I did the counselling years ago. It's only 20 years ago, unbelievably. And I always remember this moment. It will stick in my head forever, where we were in the class. So I was at university doing counselling, and he asked us a question, and we all just he said something, and we all kind of nodded. And in that moment, he used to use force with his hand on the desk quite often, where he'd like wake us up. But he was really like, why is nobody challenging what I'm saying? Why is nobody asking questions? Why is everybody just accepting what this is about? And it was a real defining moment for me. And I can still see where it shows up, where I just accept what's being said. And I just literally go along with it. And I think this is why, go back to the previous podcast, where I'd said to you, what is it that actually equally makes me go, and also makes me go, oh, I love that she does that, is the opinionated bit. And the fact that you do speak, because I don't know that I've ever had that voice. And you mentioned Nana, my mum. And I know that part of the reason why I do a lot of this is I don't think she ever had a voice.
No.
I don't think she ever learned it. I don't think, she was a woman who, grew up in the 50s and 60s. And by the time she got to the 70s, I don't think when she became a mum that she did speak up for herself. And that doesn't mean that she didn't love my dad and my dad didn't love her. I know all of that. I just think at that time.
All of that's true, and.
Yeah. And
she literally spent her whole life not saying what she meant.
Yeah, so I learned a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting for me to watch that kind of happen for me, and me to kind of be in between you and her.
Yeah.
And I think we've said this before. So often that for me is I've been learning how to, say more. Actually, no, I don't agree with that, or I see that in a different way, and also manage that respect for other people of like, tell me a bit more about that. How come you think like that? And why. It's that whole bit about, but that bigger perspectives, getting more perspectives, but also being able to trust my own and listen to it. No, it's not the end product, because I consistently feel like I'm evolving. Oh, just touched the microphone. I consistently feel like I'm evolving. But I think that I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
It is that kind of, go back to what we called it earlier, rewrite the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, who says? Are there silent rules that I'm following that have been made up when I was younger, or are in society now that actually I don't have to follow anymore?
Yeah.
That's something I'm proud of.
Yeah, I love that.
That's something I'm proud of.
I giggled because...
I'm glad you remembered.
I giggled because, I don't know why it made me think of it, but we went to a networking event a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said, what you're saying about, like not speaking up. Sometimes I don't have a choice because my face speaks before I do. Because we were sat there and this person was sharing something that I obviously didn't agree with. And all I heard was face. Face.
Face.
Face.
Just for now, face.
And I was like, schooled myself back into neutrality. Because I very obviously was not agreeing.
Yeah, you weren't.
Yeah, but also my disagreement was fucking valid.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't. It was just in that moment. And I was just a little bit like, just awareness of
face.
Like, face. I didn't say it loudly, I said it very quietly. Face.
Anyway, so that happened to me the other day.
Cool. What else are you proud of?
Gosh, I just think we've done so much, haven't we? Like, there are so many things that just feel kind of like, well, I'm immensely proud of myself for stopping drinking. Immensely proud of myself. And like,
what does it mean to you to stop drinking?
Do you know what it is? It's alleviated me in like more ways than one. So there's like the physicality of it in that I'm just not hungover. So, and I'm not dealing with the pain of that, like of being hungover or being ashamed of it. Like, because I as much as I've got nothing against people who drink, personally for me, being hungover in front of my son was one of the worst experiences. I just hated it, like, and the shame that came with that. Especially, I think, growing up with parents who didn't do it. So, like, I didn't have the thing where like it was normal for your parents to be hanging on a weekend. Like, so for me, it was like, I don't want him to experience that either. But the other side of it is what it's allowed me to see in myself in terms of what I was using it for. Because, like, I have nothing against alcohol, and I would still love a glass of wine, and there are still what I've noticed and what I have noticed, and I said this to my husband yesterday because he was asking the same question. I said, I crave it when I feel bad, which means it is and it was and still is a coping mechanism. Like I'm not drinking for the fun or for the sake of it. Like there was a very specific purpose I was using it for, and it was to numb, or to make myself feel comfortable in situations I wasn't comfortable in. Something interesting actually on Saturday night. I'm really proud of myself for speaking up. So my husband went out on Saturday, not a problem at all. Had a drink, totally fine. I have nothing against that, and came home. And I said to him yesterday, I said, I absolutely hope that you do this more, because him and his friends couldn't organise a piss in a brewery, like, and they should go out more often together, because they miss each other.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and it's really good for him to get that experience again. And I need him to stay out next time, because I have a real issue with being around men who are drunk when I'm not. I think from plenty of experiences I've had growing up and as a child, and then as an adult, and things that just weren't nice.
I think that's a conversation we have on another podcast, because me too.
Yeah.
But actually for me, it's bigger picture, it's all people.
I find
it really, really challenging to be around people that are drunk.
Yeah.
From my own experience of what I experienced as a girl.
It just doesn't feel safe.
Yeah.
And what was really nice was I brought it up to Dave and I said, I'm really glad you did it. I have no anger at all that you went. I need you to not like add this to that. And
this is
what I'd really appreciate for me, and this is why.
Yeah.
And he just went, yeah, right. And that was it. You know, there was no taking things personally that didn't need to be, or thinking anything was his fault, or because I just said what I needed for me.
So there's a proud of.
Massively
proud. How many times have you said what you needed?
God, this year's been wild. Been absolutely wild. And I think I've been less unwell since as well. For lots of reasons, but you know, I think giving up drinking back in June was like the tipping point for me, of realising that this is time now. And it's interesting, because sometimes I need a bigger push, and I think the vertigo, I said to Dave, because he said something, and I said, I'm actually thankful for the vertigo. Because basically, if I have anything to drink, I get vertigo now. Like, it just is what it is. I don't know if it's something to do with my ears or whatever. That was like the driver for giving up. But I think it kind of forced me into realising it was a coping mechanism. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't...
Yeah, because it was a bigger period of time than you'd probably done before. And now you started to notice the patterns, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't give this up because I knew it was that. It wasn't like I had this big epiphany. I gave it up because my body told me I had to.
Yeah.
And then I realised. And like, yeah. So for me, he'd said to me something about the vertigo, about not having it. And I was like, do you know what? I'm glad I've got it, because that little voice in my head that goes, oh, well, you could just have one. I can't listen to it. Because I have to have the strength so that I can fucking stand up.
Well, it knocked the hell out of me. I remember that.
Yeah, like 3 days in bed because I've had a few drinks. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm actually quite thankful for that as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else this year.
I know. Kind of wild, isn't it?
It's felt like there's been a lot this year. Yeah, my brain's gone a little bit blank now that we're talking about all of that. I think proud for just dealing with life, because I think this year's been a big one, heavy, with a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I don't know about anybody else, but I think a lot of people that I've spoken to have gone through a lot of stuff
Yeah.
So I think just
Yeah.
to even get out the other side of 2025 after we thought that, you know, maybe this was going to be the year that actually everything started to get sorted after COVID. I think it's a biggie for a lot of people. I'm proud.
No, go.
I was about to say I'm proud of my clients.
Yeah.
I am so proud of the things that they've learned about themselves, that they've done. I don't want to share, and I think this is I'm not going to share anything that people have done because it's very personal as to whether or not people talk about whether they've worked with me or not. So none of that. But just watching people achieve things that I don't know that they thought was possible, seeing their own, you know, way that life has changed around them because they've stood up for themselves, that things are calmer, that they're more. And I don't mean calmer as in, oh, they're calm all the time. I don't mean that. What I mean, though, is they're able to understand now when they need to get angry and why they're getting angry. They have real moments, though, where they just feel a bit more peaceful in their lives. They hear and see things, you know, more clearly than they ever have done. It's that. And I think it's this being this person that they have a lot more respect for themselves, because that, I think that's a biggie for me. Is I generally work with people who've lost, either never learned how to be respectful for themselves or have lost it.
Yeah, don't know what that looks like.
Don't know what that looks like, because I think that was me.
And mismatched it, because I think a lot of people mistake respect for authority. Like, because I used to have a guy that I worked with who used to talk about respect, and I remember once being like, why do they need to respect you? Like, you've not done anything to earn it. And he was like, well, they should respect me because I'm this kind of, you know, level of teacher or whatever. And I was like, that isn't what respect means. Respect doesn't mean listening to everything you're saying. Like, stop it. Like, it's not being in a position of authority. That has nothing to do with respect. It's saying respect is, I think the definition is something like appreciating that you're the level of your skill or knowledge or whatever in a certain area or something, isn't it? Like, respecting yourself is like something to do with that. So, like, learning to respect yourself isn't about getting people to listen to you or like forcing authority. It's being able to go to myself, you know, can I appreciate everything I am, and can I appreciate everything I've done, everything I'm capable of, and
because in a conversation,
the time I need,
because we don't have to agree on everything, but we respect each other, and I respect myself enough to know that I have a right to my own thoughts and feelings and opinions, and that, you know, without doing any harm to anybody else, I can voice those, and you know, and I can also be in a conversation with you and respect that you see the world differently to the way that I do. And you know, have that curiosity about that. So I think just watching people regain that or get that has been such an incredible thing, and to be a part of that, you know, and just you know, to be somebody that for me is that we've not lost why things why we do what we do, and that people, you know that they matter. I think is the bigger thing. So I'm proud of that.
Got stronger on it this year. I think we've pulled it way back in for both of us. That strategy meeting we had back in March or whenever we had it, and we sort of finally felt like we'd sort of brought everything into this one like aim, was just magical.
Yeah, because we saw exactly where the pair of us were aligned on, because we were a little bit worried before. Well, I don't know that I was. I think you'd started feeling a bit like, where does what I do sit?
It felt like we're going like, it felt like we were growing apart as opposed to growing together, and it was like we needed to come back. And actually, since we've done that, the further down we get, the closer and closer I see it.
Yeah.
And the more I'm like, it makes so much sense for people to work with both of us at the same time.
Yeah, that's watch this space for 2026.
Yeah, because like if you're a business owner who wants to do things like show up on social media, own your marketing, all that kind of stuff, you need to be the kind of person who's got an understanding of your nervous system.
Well, interestingly, we've got more than one client at the moment that goes between us.
Yeah.
So actually works with you for certain, and then comes back with some stuff for me. And then...
I actually had this idea of like a potluck. I don't know why I call it a potluck. That doesn't make any sense for what I'm about to say. Basically, where together we choose like how it's going to work, and let's say they get 2 sessions a month, and they can just choose who they're going to work with.
Yeah.
So if they're in a zone where they're feeling super confident in themselves and they're feeling safe and secure and all that kind of stuff, they can go, right, I'm going to focus this month's entirely on business. Maybe it's a launch month or something, and they want me for the strategy and the social media and that kind of side. And then another month, maybe they've gone through something and they need a bit of it. Do you know what I mean? But then another month they do both. And I just think that'd be really fun for people to go be like, pickety choosy.
Pickety choosy.
Pickety choosy. So not pick and mix. That would have been better.
I don't know why I keep. Do you know what? I'll show my age now. All I could hear in my head was blankety blank,
blankety blank,
pickety pick.
Oh, what TV show would you go on if you could go on any TV show? I realise we're not part of that episode now, but
I'm about to say, I'm going to say I'm proud of. Can I pick one from the past?
Yeah.
The Price is Right.
The Price is Right.
Oh, no, or Ant and Dec's Takeaway.
Oh, Saturday Night Takeaway.
Saturday Night Takeaway.
Catchphrase.
Yeah. Catchphrase.
I used to look catchphrase. I used to cheat at catchphrase. I used to.
How would you cheat?
On like a Sunday afternoon, I'd sit and watch catchphrase, and then I'd put it on +1 and get the girls to come and watch it with me, and I'd guess them all dead, and they'd be like, "You're so good at this!"
As in your sisters?
Yeah. I used to cheat. It was cracking. I did it once to Dad, and he was like, "You're so good at it," and then I had to tell him because it was so funny. This is as an older. This wasn't when I was younger, and like I was like 15, 16, and I'd do it and like proper, like make them think I was mint. I found it hilarious. Yeah, don't know what.
That's just genuinely. I mean, there is a bit of genius in that.
I know.
Play it and then play it on catch up and let everyone think you were.
They thought I was.
I like catchphrase. I'd go on catchphrase. I used to think I was pretty good.
Me versus you on catchphrase would be amazing.
No, it wouldn't.
The blondes.
I'd like to point out, if anyone's not watching, she actually did us at the same height there. I'm like,
no, because it was the buttons.
It's the buttons.
We both put the buttons.
Oh no, because I think people would see how competitive we are. I can already feel this part of me that's going, no, that would not be a good place for you.
I want to know if you'd like to see us on catchphrase.
Well, and if you can get us
Nana would be on Tipping Point.
She would be on Tipping Point. Yeah, she loved Tipping Point. Yeah, me too. Ben Shepherd.
Really? Anyway, if you're not watching, you don't understand. She raised her eyebrows suggestively.
I met Ben Shepherd years ago. I don't know what any of this. Any of this
that we're proud of. I would like to ask,
as we finish
off.
We're both looking at watches now.
Yeah, what you're proud of, listeners, good people of the Blondes community.
Yes.
What you're proud of. What little things? Because I think we all look for these massive, big things. Because I wonder if people thought we were going to talk about how much money we earned or how many clients we had or any of that, but actually none of that. Like, actually, it's the tiny little things that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of myself for getting my paints back out. You know, I'm really proud of myself for really focusing on getting proper time with my little tiny egg. He's really funny.
I'm really proud of really understanding what success means to me and that it is about time. And also, another little I'm proud of that things are shifting. And what I mean by that is that when we moved into the property that we live in, it has 2 floors, and we could literally live in the upstairs floor. We wouldn't need to use downstairs. And I do, but I'm very aware that a lot of the stuff that was downstairs was just there, and I didn't have. I don't think I had the emotional capacity to deal with it. And this year has been about that, beginning to start to shift.
It does feel like that.
Yeah,
like you're like getting bits of pasta off.
Yeah, just taking it out, selling clothes, looking at what actually brings me joy. So, you know, really kind of looking at that, letting things go, and allowing that. And I do think that's a process as we go through. But that's been, so I agree. I think what are the little things that you're proud of? I mean, if you've got big things and you want to share them, definitely share them with us.
We love those too.
We would love, and they'd be brilliant. What a way for us to end this year, to hear, you know, what incredible things that you're proud of. I think that's a good place to end.
Oh, well, we'll see you next week for the Christmas special. She says that as though she has any idea what that's going to look like.
Yeah, we haven't, but we will. We will.
We will. Yeah, we'll see you for the Christmas special. We hope you have a gorgeous week.
Well, I hope December's going well so far.
Yeah.
And that you have been able to carve out just a little bit of time for you. And absolutely, we are still open.
Yeah, and if you feel sad, you should watch Arthur Christmas. My favourite Christmas song.
There you go. Good recommendation. Take care, guys.
Bye.